Alrighty. So I just wanted to confirm that we were live. I wanted to really set this up because goal achieving is not done accidentally. Okay. Goal achieving is a process that anybody can follow. But the key is a lot of people think they might be following a goal achieving process, but they're missing the mark. A lot of people think that their goals will never happen and they're already missing the mark. So we wanted to go straight back to basics here, right? We wanted to go to the basics of how anybody in here can achieve their goals and the success they want if they want it. Okay. Of course, you got to want to, you got to want to achieve. Some people don't, straight out. Like, let's be honest. I think everyone has these dreams and desires, but we've got to feel that feeling of, you know what, I'm ready. Like, I want this. I'm done.
There's a decision that needs to happen for it to turn from a hope and a wish to an actual goal.
Absolutely. And this is where we want to help you. If you're ready today, if you're listening to this, maybe it's the replay, to make a decision that you are going to create and achieve more in the next 3 to 6 months than what you did in the last 2 years, 3 years, all put together. Okay. The truth is, you can achieve more in the next 3 months than what you did in the last 3 years put together when you focus your attention and apply what we're going to teach you today. Okay. So, first and foremost, the question you want to start to think about is, do you have a goal? Do you have a target that you're shooting for that is measurable? Okay. So, one thing is a vision, having this vision of being this person and having this lifestyle. And then there's a goal. Do you have a goal of something you want to achieve, whether it's this year, whatever the date is, but it's measurable? Like, I know there's a client that we're working with. Her goal is to be a gold medal Olympic champion. Okay. So that's her goal. That's the focus point. It's not a just making the Olympics. It's not a silver medal. It's not just making the finals. Can we see that it is a specific goal? Okay. Now, do you have a specific goal, right, that you're shooting for? And let's break this down, right? Because the truth is, if you don't want to drift through life, you've got to set a goal beyond where you are. It's got to be something that you don't know how you're going to achieve. Okay. That's the basics.
I think the key thing with goal setting as well, it's what you really want. That's the most important thing. It's like you have to ask yourself, what do I really want? Forget about what you've done before. Forget about what anyone else has done before. When you're connected to what you love, what you really desire, then you're setting the right kind of goal. Okay. If it's intellectual and it's thinking logically about, well, I have to do this and this and this, well, you're probably on the wrong track. It's probably going to be a goal that you, veer off from in a few months' time. Okay. But when you're going after what you really want, there's going to be something else behind that. Okay. And that something else is really, really important.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's desire.
And it's that passion. There's that passion behind that desire because it comes from a deeper place. It comes from within. It's not, like you said, intellectual. So allow yourself to really go there. What would I love? What would I love to achieve in this lifetime? What would I really love if anything was truly possible for me? Okay. And really allow yourself to go there and forget how right now. Like, it might seem so impossible. It might be so something you just see movie stars achieve or whatever it is, it's out there. No, at one point in time, they too had a desire to achieve that. So understand that this is what you have to do, is to lock in to this place, and it's going to automatic ignite something inside of you. And then we've got to make that measurable. Yeah, because otherwise it's still away from you. And it's only when we embody the goal, that we become one with the goal, that we start really gaining traction. Okay. So that's the first thing, is the goal. Do you have a clear goal? And this might be backwards. I'm sure. No, it might be. We'll see. That's where you're shooting.
That's fine.
Right? This is where you are. Okay. So this is where you are right now. Are you dissatisfied with where you are? Like, think back of the first quarter of the year. This is great inventory. And these are important questions to ask yourself. Are you satisfied with your performance, with your results, with what you've achieved in the first quarter of the year? If the answer is no, this is for you. This is for you because you can turn it right around. And if you have done well in the first quarter of the year, you can still multiply that again. It doesn't matter where you are right now. You can multiply your results by following these key principles that we're going to share with you today. Okay. So, first thing is having a goal. And I would encourage you to get a pen and paper and be clear about it. Write it down, put it up somewhere. Okay. Really start to make this your desire. Napoleon Hill says, without the burning desire, we're not going to achieve our goal. That's why burning desire is a chapter in Think and Grow Rich. It's essential. And we've got to fuel this desire and keep it burning alive, because on the road there, you're going to be tested. There's going to be growth for you. You got to persist. And that's why it's so essential you lock into a goal, a dream that ignites your soul.
There's something, when I've helped someone that was having trouble really locking into something that they wanted, right? One thing that I noted was that if you think of the thing that you're most dissatisfied with in your life right now, your greatest dissatisfaction, okay? Even just write that down. What is my greatest dissatisfaction in my life right now? Then once you've written that down, you ask yourself, what's the polar opposite of that greatest dissatisfaction? And then write the polar opposite down. And you will see that the polar opposite of your greatest dissatisfaction is actually your greatest desire. Okay. And so that's an easy way, if you're having trouble, to actually nailing what is my goal? What do I really want?
Yeah. And you know what? This is how you can start going on track to discovering your purpose. If you don't feel you have your purpose or connected to it, just setting a target of something that you would really love right now, and you make your decision to commit to it. And that's a really important part, that you're committed to this goal. And sometimes it takes being really dissatisfied or having your back in a corner to really want to get out of that place. I remember someone asking me, why is it that all these successful people in Think and Grow Rich have had such adversity and then created such great success? Because the truth is, we've got to dig from a deeper place. We've got to really dig and stay connected to that. And sometimes we have to get there, and that's a good thing. I don't see it as a bad thing. That's where we were when once upon a time our back was against a wall. And it was so uncomfortable to stay in that spot, but it was also really uncomfortable to move forward. But at least moving forward, there's a hope. It started with, wow, well, life could absolutely change.
We saw different possibilities.
Yeah.
Because we were doing something about it.
Absolutely.
And hope is powerful.
Yes, it's the starting point to progress.
And I think when you set your goal, when you're going after what you really want, it probably will start off as just a hope. Okay. But through understanding and applying what we're going to be teaching, it's going to go from a hope to a certainty, like this is going to happen.
Yeah. And that's where we want to get to the point of absolute faith, of knowing. Okay. So you don't have to be there right now. This is the process. This is what we help you with, is get to the point of faith, of knowing, of absolute, because it's connected and it's in your mind. It's accepted by your subconscious. You're in harmony with it. All right. And then that's an inevitable fact. But it starts with a goal. Okay. Progress starts with a goal. And just for now, for the purpose of this, pick one thing. Okay, pick one thing that you really would love to focus in on. And maybe it's by the end of the year. Maybe it's just by the end of the quarter. Okay. If anything, maybe it's a dream way beyond, but we're going to get you connected to it. So you start taking the right actions, the effective actions, to making it your reality.
And another tip when it comes to goal setting that you don't want to, I think you want to avoid setting a goal that is too far in the future. Okay. Like if it's 5 or 10 years down the track, the chance of you acting on it now is very slim because it seems like there's so much time, there's no urgency. Okay. Now you might have, yes, something that some place where you'd love to be in 10 years from now or 5 years from now. That's great. You can actually write that down, but chunk it down to where do you want to be in the next year? Where do I want to be by July the 1st? Okay. So let's create some urgency. So then you start taking meaningful actions towards it right now.
Absolutely.
So that in 10 years' time, you're not scrambling to make this thing happen.
Exactly. And that's why having a measurable goal, we just got off a call with our academy clients and they're locked in to a goal by July, by the end of the quarter. So they're applying everything that we're teaching and focusing on it. And the magic, things start to change so quickly. Opportunities start to come up. Amazing things happen when you're locked in and you progress, you're moving towards it with the certain mindset. Okay. So that's really the first step of basics in goal achieving is the goal. And if you are unsure, if you feel like, oh, is this right? This is where we can help you. Okay. And at the end of this call, we're going to offer you a strategy call. Okay. To help you specifically with an opportunity that's exciting starting next week. Okay. So just don't feel you need to have it all nutted out yet. That's where we come in if you need that help. Okay. Now, let's go to the next phase. So someone's got their goal. They know what they want. They're connected.
So once you have your goal and you know what you want, okay, like you've made a committed decision, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, this is who I'm becoming, right? By this time, in this date, now this is what I want to have achieved. Okay. Now this is process of becoming that person. Okay, because we can only attract into our life whatever is in harmony with us. Okay. If you look at all your results right now in your life, they're a reflection of something inside you, conditioned ideas. Okay. Like I am a walking reflection of ideas that have been conditioned into my subconscious mind. Okay. And those ideas cause me to dress in a certain way, cause me to decorate my house in a certain way, cause me to live in the area that I'm living. It causes me to behave in certain ways. Okay. And so these fixed ideas in my subconscious mind have been put there from conditioning from my family, my friends, my upbringing, okay, but even genetic conditioning.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's genetic conditioning and then there's the environmental conditioning. And so a lot of them, I haven't chosen to put them in there. They were put in there automatically and I just grew up with them.
So think even for people listening right now, your life is literally a reflection of the ideas, the beliefs, and the habits that you currently hold. And a lot of those ideas you didn't even choose. So can you think of how crazy that is in the sense where you're trying to change and you're trying to fight the existing reality without altering that deeper program?
So what we're doing here is we have to go to the primary cause of your behaviors and change it there, which is the subconscious conditioning. Okay, the ideas you've accepted on a subconscious level, the habits, the beliefs about who you are and what you can do. And as you start changing them, what will happen is that your behaviors will naturally start changing. Okay, because a lot of people will start, let's say, for example, someone has a goal to become fitter and healthier. They want to, have a beach body by summer, right? And so they'll get to work, but they're not actually changing the ideas that have caused them to eat what they're eating, that cause them to, the habit of actually working out. And so they'll start off and they'll force themselves to go to the gym. They're starting to build this new routine. Okay. And then what happens, maybe they're at a party and someone offers them some cake or some alcohol and they start drinking and eating foods that are not in alignment with their goal. And they think, oh, it's just one piece of cake. But that one piece of cake, the next time they're at the shopping center, they think, oh, just one piece of cake. All of a sudden, they're back into their old habits of purchasing food that's not in alignment with what where they want to be. They start, I had a big night last night. I'm not going to go to the gym today, right? And that one day that they don't go leads to another day. And in 3 months from now, all of a sudden, they're back to doing what they were doing before they had the goal of going to the gym and having this beach body.
Absolutely.
They've fallen off the wagon. Why? Because they never altered the conditioning, the subconscious ideas that were causing them to behave the way they were behaving, to think the way they were thinking. And so the results never change.
Because their image of themselves. I said, this is where the program, you have been programmed literally to get the results that you're getting. It's not an accident you're earning what you're earning. It's not an accident your relationships are the way they are. It's not an accident your business is the way it is. It's not an accident that your health is the way it is. Nothing is an accident. Everything has a cause and an effect. But in order to change it, see, a lot of the time, if we don't understand this, we're too busy trying to change the effect. We're too busy trying to change the outside without going to the cause of what's actually creating these results. And so by doing that, everything feels short term. If you want to change your life and change your results on a permanent level, okay, where let's say finances are now you're financially free, you can easily buy what you want, you can buy a house for your mom if you want, like you have created this financial freedom, right? But right now you feel like you can hardly get by in the month. Well, you can alter that to create financial freedom. You're not stuck living the way you are just because it's your current result, but you have been programmed. So in order to change your results, you've got to go to the cause, and that is ultimately the habits, beliefs, and ideas that you have in your mind, in your subconscious mind, because they're controlling your results. See, 96 to 98% of your results, your perceptions about the world, your habits, your behavior are automatic. They're subconscious, which means to the best, 2 to 4% of the time, you're actually really in control of creating consciously your life. At best, I would be inclined to say even 1 to 2%.
And here's the frustrating part for most people, okay? And if you don't understand this, is that you should be doing differently than what you're doing.
And
right?
You can, right? Yeah. There's a part of it's like, I can do better.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's say let's continue with that example of someone who's wants this beach body. They know that they shouldn't eat that cake, but they eat it anyway. They know that they shouldn't drink that alcohol, but they do it anyway. They know they shouldn't skip that gym day, but they do it anyway, right? So there's this gap between what they know they should do and what they're actually doing, and that's the gap that prevents them from actually achieving the goals they want.
Well, let's go into business, right? Because a lot of people have their own business. They know that they should be taking more effective action in their business and reaching out more people and doing these things, but they're not doing it, right? For whatever reason, they don't know enough. See, that's the program's already in control. So getting out of the program is uncomfortable. In fact, the first step is to become aware of the program when it's in control, and then you've got to override it. And that's what we help you with, right? Override that program to then create that new habit that becomes your new normal. That's how you've expanded your results, right? And then you can go and set bigger goals once you've achieved it. But the key here is, in its basic, if you want to achieve results beyond where you are, you've got to alter your program. Because until you do alter the program, you're just really getting caught up in daily trivia. You're getting caught up in circumstance, and you'll attract things that aren't progressive. You'll attract being busy for the sake of being busy that's really not advancing. Does that make sense? And I know that feeling, it's not the best feeling, like, because the truth is I believe in our core, we feel that we are meant for more. That's why you do have your dreams, right? But if we are not aligning our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions in harmony with it, we don't feel good about ourselves because we know we can be doing so much better.
And a key thing you were just saying there is beliefs, right? Like you could even think, yeah, I believe I can do that. Like you might believe that you can do something, but does your behavior actually reflect that belief? Okay, you ask yourself, this is where you have some self-reflection. Okay, does my behavior reflect the belief that I say that I believe, right? Like you might believe that you can achieve this goal, but are you behaving that way?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this conscious belief, but then there's a subconscious belief, because if you believe that subconsciously, your behavior would reflect that.
Absolutely.
So we have to get these beliefs from being conscious to subconscious. Okay. And so that process, that is called a paradigm shift. When we're altering the beliefs, we're altering the habits on a subconscious level. And you will see when you do it this way, when you change this way from the inside out, not trying to force your behavior, but when you change from the inside out, the change is natural and it's progressive. And you can make such quantum leaps in progress that you couldn't do if you're just trying to force it through your behaviors.
Absolutely.
That can't be sustained for very long, because that's using all your willpower.
And so here's the thing, right? Just for the sake of it, a person isn't earning $50,000 a year because that's what they would love, right? Person's earning $50,000 a year because that's what they've been programmed to be doing. That's their conditioning. Now, doesn't mean they don't want to earn $500,000 a year. Okay. And same thing. If you want to go from 50,000 to 500,000, you're going to have to alter your paradigm. You have to alter your beliefs, the ideas you have about what you can earn, your ability, right? You've got to alter this, your money consciousness. And then you become this person who is earning $500,000 a year. That becomes your normal. But you're not fighting existing reality. The beauty about changing the paradigm at a core is it's permanent. It's not just an outperformance. It's permanent. And then this becomes your normal. Okay. This is your normal. You go shoot high and then that becomes your normal. And the process is the same, no matter what the goal is, no matter who the person is, whether it's a specific goal in sport, where it's a specific monetary goal, whether it's a dream that you have in your business. Okay. Whatever the dream and desire is, you can achieve it. You do have to alter your program. So that takes us to the next thing in let's introduce a picture that's going to help you understand how this works, right? Some of you may have seen it, and it doesn't matter if you've seen it because you can always understand this on a different level, right? See, we as the stick person, right? Dr. Thurman Fleet actually created this picture to teach us about how the mind works. So I want you to just think for the moment, okay? You have a goal, all right? This is your dream right now, okay? It's outside of you. It's not your reality, right? But right now, you have these results, okay? Maybe it's your income, your business, your family life, your relationships, all of that. So that's your current result. This is a resemblance of you. Okay, this is you as a person right now. Your thinking, how you feel, and how you behave are all in harmony with this current result that you have. And as long as you keep doing this and thinking a certain way, behaving a certain way, you're going to keep getting the same results. But you have a dream now. You have this goal. You have this vision. You have something that you want that is beyond where you are. But guess what? In this part, this is your conscious mind and your subconscious. This is the part that controls your behavior. You have the program. You are programmed. It's your paradigm. You are programmed. So even though you may think about your goal, there's your star, you may imagine your goal, you may want your goal, your program is still the same. So guess what? Your behavior is going to be in harmony, not with the goal, but with the thinking, right? The behavior is in harmony with what you have been getting, your results. And that's how people keep getting the same results and moving painfully slowly towards achieving their goals. So, Matt, I'm going to bring you on here. How does someone change that from their program? You've got the behavior, they're getting the results, and now they want this goal, okay? What part of the paradigm, what even, can you explain a little bit deeper?
Well, you want to understand, like Nat was saying, like we have this conditioning here on the subconscious level, okay? And you've got this goal that you want to shoot for. You know, there's things that you already know. Like I don't believe that someone who set a goal does not know how to achieve it. There is something that you know that you can start doing that you're not doing, right? So there's behaviors and there's things that you can implement. The thing is that information, the knowing, is all in here. Okay, we know that the conscious mind, we know, okay? It's the thinking mind. But like Nat was saying, the subconscious mind was controlling the behavior. So we have to internalize this new behavior. Like quite often I'll go into like sales offices, like speaking to real estate agents and things like that. They all know how to prospect, to call people, you know, prospective clients. They all know how to list homes. They all know how to have meetings. They all know how to sell the homes. But where they're actually breaking down is actually following through and doing the things that they already know how to do. Okay, this is what we call the knowing doing gap. The gap between what we know we should do and what we're doing is miles apart. Okay, and what people do is they go out and they try and get more information. Okay, more information on a conscious level to change their behavior. But gathering more information, what that leads to is greater frustration because they know more, they're still doing what they were doing before, they're not actually implementing it. And so the gap gets wider and wider. So what we want to do is we want to start internalizing the information from a conscious level on an emotional subconscious level, okay? Because the subconscious mind is the emotional mind, okay? And so we want to start internalizing it, and that will then alter your vibration, alters the way you feel, okay? And that'll move you into action, okay? Like I said, this is a process of thinking into the results that you want, okay? I'll give an example. Like years ago, I was speaking with Bob Proctor and I told him that I wanted to start helping more businesses. And so he suggested to go and start cold calling and walking into businesses, introducing myself and offering the opportunity to speak with me about the program that we offer. And that terrified me because I had certain beliefs about cold calling and prospecting and walking into businesses, and you know, people who cold call are pests, and like these are subconscious beliefs that I adapted and adopted from childhood, right? When someone would call our phone that was trying to sell us something, my parents would just hang up, right? That was a subconscious belief. Cold calls are pests, right? So when Bob advised me to walk into businesses, I had all these beliefs that came up for me that were screaming, I can't do this, right? And having a mentor like Bob, you know, when he advised me to do something, I didn't want to say, no, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I actually said to him, I responded, I said, Bob, I've already tried that before. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, it didn't work. He said, oh, really? He said, how long did you try it for? I said, it was about 2 weeks. And he started laughing at me. And he said, you didn't give yourself long enough to get good at it, right? And what he meant is I didn't give myself enough time to actually condition my mind into being successful at what I was trying to do, right? And so he instructed me to go out every day by 9 o'clock in the morning to be in front of a business owner or a manager or you know, in a business and actually offer them the opportunity to speak with me. And I followed through with it. That week, I went into about 70 something businesses. It terrified me to bits, but I booked 0 meetings. I booked no meetings from that week, okay? And I recognized in that process of going out and actually acting on what he told me to do, there was such resistance there. Okay. I was experiencing in my physical world everything that was reflecting my belief about it. People were being rude to me. People were shutting the door. People didn't want to speak with me. That was all a reflection of what was happening, the beliefs I had about that process on a subconscious level. So I knew the tools that I had, I got excited for a moment. I'm like, wow, like I can change this. I can actually change my belief about this process and I can get really good at this. And so I made the habit, I formed the habit, and I created a new idea in my subconscious mind of booking meetings through this process to be simple, easy, and fun. Okay. And within 3 months, I started booking 30% of the people that I walked in on. Like if I walked in or called, 1 in 3 people I booked a meeting with. And if anyone that's listening to this is in any form of sales, like in real estate or whatever it is, you know that's a very high percentage. Because all the people that I've spoken to, I actually got so good at it. I had real estate officers offering me jobs and opportunities because of how good I was at actually just calling them or walking in, and how confident the relationships that I was building. I got so good at it. I loved doing it. I made friends through doing it, right? Like that's how much my beliefs changed. Why? Because I started to internalize a new image of myself and a new perception of what I was doing. Okay, this is so powerful. You can apply it to absolutely anything.
Absolutely anything. I want to be clear with that because I'm mindful of the audience that we're also speaking to. This could be a mum in here that wants to earn a certain income and have a business, okay, you can do this. This is exactly what I've done, right? And I keep applying it because we are always going to have a program, but is your program in harmony with the results that you want? And if the answer is no, which chances are all of you in here, it is no, if your goal's outside of you, then we've got to align with it. So it doesn't matter whether it's this family that you want to create, whether it's this business, whether it's a dream, another dream. You know, I've got another client. She's working, she's already a film producer. She's an Oscar winning producer. She wants to get to another level. We've got to come from that goal. Can you see that? Like, you've got to understand that no matter where you are, you can alter the program. But if you don't know how to alter the program, that's the pickle. Okay. So I guess that's the good thing that you know us, because we know how to alter your program. And it doesn't matter whether you're a child or you're an adult. We work at this with our kids all the time. In fact, it's so much easier because they don't have many years of conditioning, right? So I think one of the best ways you can help any children is to help the parents. That's how you help the children, because everything filters down. It's like a business. The energy all filters down. You got to change things at the top, not at the bottom. You got to alter the things at the top, the mindset that's happening, the program, the self-image. Where's the confidence at? The belief.
Now, something that Bob said years ago that really stuck with me, not only stuck with me, but it was like a bit of a punch in the guts. He said, what we don't fix, our children inherit. What we don't fix, our children inherit. So if you have behaviors within the household and you have beliefs in the way you're talking about certain things, whether it's about money, whether it's about, other people, or whatever, that all your children adopt that. Like they're like a sponge.
They're your minion, really.
They're like, their minds are like sponges. You say something once and then you'll hear them say repeating it like a week or 2 weeks later. Why? Because they just accept things so quickly and so easily. Okay. And so they are a byproduct of who we are. And so if I see my children behaving in ways that I don't like, I know that I have to change something because they're a reflection. Okay. Now they might pick up things at school, like my older son picks things up in his outer environment because he's not sheltered in his house. Okay. But I know that anything can be changed. Okay. And, when you know that, it's so empowering. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go back to our stick person, right? So this is our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is the one that gathers the information. Like even right now, this is conscious to you, what you're learning. But it's the program in here that has to change. So no matter how much information is going in here, you've got to go here. And then that's what's going to alter your vibration, right? So let's go here for a second. You've got this dream, you've got this goal that you really want. Now, you might even think about it, right? You might even have pictures of it in your house. But then you've got this paradigm, okay? Now, part of your program is a self-image, is an image of you. And this is something that in my Facebook group, especially in here, I've been very mindful of. Loving yourself and really believing in yourself is fundamental to success, because you can go and try anything, but if you don't believe in yourself at a subconscious level, at a deep level that is not dependent on the outside, right? If you believe in yourself, the chances of success go skyrocket high. Now all you got to do is align your ideas and beliefs. But if you have a very poor self-image, if you grew up in a family that was very critical, that was judgmental, that may have put you down, didn't raise you up positively, you will develop into an adult that has a poor self-esteem. I can relate to that because that's how I grew up. And I have parents that love me, but they didn't know what they didn't know. And they were also passed on a program. And they were passed on a program. And see, we're dealing with generational self-image things here. So when I see things in my kids that I'm like, whoa, that's not in harmony, then I don't try and find out why or this or that. I just go straight to fixing it and changing it, because then guess what? The next generation is going to have a completely new program. You have an opportunity to change the entire genetic lineage of the future, and it can start with you. How exciting is that? Right? So, our self image, we have a self image, and our self image literally, it's controlling the way that we think about ourselves, the way we dress, our expression. Are we reserved? Are we shy? Do we have a hunch on our back? Like, our body physically reflects our self image. So if you want to be more confident, if you want to believe in yourself more, if you want to believe you can achieve your goal, it's absolutely essential that you change your self-image, because you have already got a programmed one. The thing is, your self-image isn't in harmony then with your goal. So just like Matt said, it's like someone who may be carrying 20, 30, 40 extra kilos, and they're trying their butt off and they're doing everything that they can. But in their mind, when they think of themselves, they literally on the screen of their mind have an image of being overweight. That's a programmed image. We think in pictures, right? So throughout the day, you have 60, 70,000 pictures flashing on the screen of your mind. You think they're words and thoughts? Those are just words resembling the image. You have an image of yourself, and you have an image of your bank account, and you have an image of your business. You have an image of all these things that are an extension of you, but you are the core. Do you see yourself wealthy? Do you see yourself as a world champion? Do you see yourself as an exceptional leader? Do you see yourself as a confident, happy, humble person? Right? So,
an example comes to mind of one of our past clients. She was exercising already, she was dieting already, okay, and she was doing all these things. She was doing all the right things, and she was not experiencing any release in weight, okay. And then we worked on her image of herself. We said, okay, we got to alter your self-image. We took her straight to that lesson to start working on it straight away. Within 10 weeks, she kept dieting, she kept exercising, but within 10 weeks, she released 10 kilos by altering that subconscious image of herself.
Incredible.
Huge.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I've used this with our kids, especially Ollie, who was not doing well at school, who was doing really bad at school, altering his self-image to see and believe himself as being smart at school, doing really well, thriving at school, getting amazing grades. And he was borderline about to not pass a year. Well, he flew. So he's fine. He's now on track. He's doing amazing. But it was a self-image. And if I didn't catch that early, can you imagine the compound effect of all that through high school, right? What that leads to. This is life-changing material. What we're talking about here is not just fluff, and it's not just to look good. This is about changing the generational and by yourself, but it starts with you, because you can help the others, but you can't teach what you don't know. You can't teach what you don't understand. And that's the best way. You be the one that changes. And then you naturally, by applying this, are the best teacher for others. You're not just regurgitating information. You understand through experience. That is the best teacher, practicing what you're preaching.
As I hear you say that, Nat, I think of your enthusiasm for this, and I think of my enthusiasm for this. And the reason why we're so enthusiastic and so passionate about this is because we've constantly been applying this into our lives for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Like repetitiously over and over again. And I remember like where I started with this, and that's talking about self-image. I used to be an electrician. Okay. I wasn't an electrician working in building sites. I was working in people's homes, crawling through their roofs, fixing lights. Like that's how I saw myself when it came to my profession, when it came to my career. Okay. Now for someone to go from that to within 3 months, I was running my coaching and consulting business together with Nat full time. Like that's such a dramatic change, right? But I had to alter the way I saw myself. Now it was uncomfortable. Okay, when I started going out and having meetings in cafes and stuff, it was uncomfortable. Why? Because that was not the way I saw myself earning money, helping people, providing service. The way I provide service was through fixing lights or installing lights and PowerPoints. And do you see what I'm saying? Like there was an internal shift in the way I saw myself. But through the process of altering that paradigm, altering that conditioning, altering my perception of myself, which is a self-image, I was able to naturally change that. And I have never, ever gone back. So within 3 months of starting this process, I altered my career and have never gone back to being an electrician again. Okay. Like that is a huge change.
And you know what? I want to add to that, considering it was such a genetic thing. It's not like there's professionals in the family. Everyone is a tradesperson. The two brothers and the dad and generations before are all using their hands to earn money. Think about it. That is a massive shift of an identity. So think of you. Like, let's go back to you right now. It doesn't matter what the generations behind you, before you have done. You can create something so beautiful, so big, so beyond, and go beyond what I even sometimes against the grain, the polarity, right, of what you want to create. You can do that. You got to alter your self-image. And there's a way you can do that. Does it happen just by pressing a button? No, but that's why you got to want this so much.
It reminds me of Bob. He used to say, if I could just, put this into a syringe and inject it into everyone's ass, I would. It just doesn't work that way. Okay. Like you got to, there's a process, like I said earlier, of becoming. Like there's a process of changing, just like going to the gym. Okay, you don't go to the gym one day and then look in the mirror and see this beach body, right? Like there's a process of changing. You might not see any change, for 2 months, after going to the gym every single day. But when you look in that mirror after 2 months, you see, hang on a sec, like I can actually see the difference from when I first started, right? And I'm not saying it takes a long time to change. You can change so quickly. Sometimes people are just 1 millimeter off. Just 1 millimeter, right? And just accepting one new idea. And by the process of accepting that one new idea, they can create huge jumps. Like I was, recall a client that I worked with, he took his income from like 2,000 a week to 10,000 a week within 6 months. Like that is such a huge change, right? He was in the same career. He'd been in the industry for 10 years. After 10 years, he was earning 2,000 a week. Like that's a long time. Okay. And it was a commission-based business, but within 6 months to go to 10,000 a week, like that is such a dramatic change that he would not have believed from day one. If I told him you can do that, he wouldn't have believed it. Right. But through the process of changing and becoming, it became his reality. Now I know he's far exceeded that income, the 10,000. Okay. So it doesn't stop there. You keep developing yourself, keep working towards it. You keep becoming, because that becoming process, it can keep going on forever. Like there's infinite possibilities for us out there.
And that's the beauty, that once you really experience the magic, you just want to keep going, because life gets better in every way, right? And you just reminded me of someone who, she's such a beautiful soul. She's still a client of ours after all these years. When she started, I had a hunch to reach out to her, and she had a holistic healthcare business. She's a mom, and she was about to close her doors. She was in two minds. She was just going to shut it because it wasn't profitable. She was away from her, her child. She wanted to spend time. And, seeing her today, she's gone away the other week on her own for a couple of nights, having a mum time to herself. She's got a company, she's still got the business, but it's grown. She's now turning over 6 figures in quarter. She's just thriving. Her money consciousness has gone through the roof. But the biggest thing was her why was her family, of spending time with her. So she's not trading time for money, and attracting people that are the perfect fit for her business, that love it as much as she does, that are the fit for growing the business, so she doesn't have to be there all the time. See, a lot of people in business have these ideas that they can't be replaced. And so if with that thinking, how can you ever scale your business? So you stop trading your time for money.
That idea that no one else can do what you do better than you, like that is a subconscious idea.
Absolutely.
I've seen that over and over again with tradies, because see, that's the background I came from, where they would be a one-man show or one-person show. Like they wouldn't employ people to work for them and make it so much harder for themselves because they don't think anyone else would do a good a job as they do. And they would think their clients wouldn't want someone else working on their house or whatever it is, the projects, right? That is a subconscious idea. When I had a business, electrical contracting business, I had subcontractors working for me that my clients were happy with.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a different, okay, so I want you to remember something and I want you to write this down. This is so important. Everything I believe is true for me. Because as long as you're holding these beliefs, you're going to see physical evidence of that. But here you are, someone has a different belief having different results. So you can program the new belief that you want that's in harmony with the result that you want. And then that will be your new normal. And then everything you believe is true for you. Yes, that statement's never going to change, ever. So the question is, what have I been believing? Because it's true.
And when you become aware of a belief, you say, is this belief serving me? Is this belief actually going to help me achieve this goal that I've set for myself?
And becoming aware of the belief doesn't change it.
No.
That's the really, like, I imagine it did. It'd be cool all the time. You now have to plant the new one in here. So it's in harmony. And then you get that new result. Okay. So we've covered goals. We've covered and introduced you to the program, the paradigms, right? Mental program. And part of that's your self-image, which you can change, which is amazing. You can now literally create a script of your life of how you want to see yourself, how you want to live, how you want to conduct yourself in this world, rather than being at the back foot, hiding behind the scenes. You can be the star of your life. And that doesn't take away the light of anyone else. You can step into your power, into your light. But we've got to create that image and plant that in your subconscious mind. So we've got paradigms. Now, what's the next step? When someone really wants to make this happen, they understand this, they know this, right?
Well, I think decision making is key, right? And like I said at the beginning, when you were talking about goals, like you want to make a committed decision that this is what I'm doing. Without commitment and without decision, that goal will just stay a hope and a dream.
Okay? And you're going to have anxiety because you feel that you could be living that dream and you're not. And the doubt brews. So decision kicks out all of that when you start to move, right?
Well, yeah. So decision can actually bring up mixed emotions where it does bring up a lot of discomfort as well.
Yes.
But what a committed decision does, it makes you a single-minded person. And what I mean by that is like you're focused, you're locked in now. All right. If someone hasn't made a committed decision, okay, they might be working towards a goal, but they haven't actually made a committed decision to make that happen. They'll be working on that project or that goal with one hand. On the other hand, they're searching around for something else, like another opportunity or another way that they can maybe earn that income, right? So they're not actually all in with it, right? And I try and find every example I can, and relate everything to success and goal achieving. And my son, Oliver's playing soccer, and I've been teaching him. I said, Oliver, if you don't go all in with a tackle or with a kick or whatever, like you're going to come out second best. And it's not about playing rough, but it's about being committed to it. Okay. I said, if you're committed, you're not going to be injured, right? Because that's something that I learned when I was a soccer player. If I went half-hearted in for a tackle, there was a high chance I was going to get injured because the other person was going all in, right? But by going all in for what you want, what you desire, you become this laser-focused person that there's an energy about you.
Yeah.
Right?
You become an all-in person, and in everything you do, you become this committed person.
Yeah. And you start thinking of ways where you can achieve it, okay? Because the ideas will come to you. Why? Because you're locked in on a certain frequency of thought. Okay, your mind is locked in. It's all about what's happening in your mind. Okay, your mind is locked into a certain frequency of thought where you're going to attract different ideas, plans. Then you start attracting different people, conditions, and circumstances. Why? Because it's all energetic.
Absolutely. So all of this sounds great, but without a decision, without the decision to go for it, it's just going to remain a wish, right? And we work with those people. Like if you're listening to this and you're feeling this fire brewing, this in your belly, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to take this to another level. Like I'm ready to really show myself what I can achieve this year. Like if I give it all my attention and what I have, and create life on my terms, the success on my terms. Yes, I can succeed in this area in my life, in career and business, and thrive even more as a family and in my relationships. If you're really ready to commit and go to that next level, we have some exciting news, right? Do you want to share that?
We're actually going to be relaunching or restarting our Thinking Results program next week, which is the program that we have been studying for 7 years. Okay. Like this is where we started 7 years ago. And once we became coaches and consultants with Bob, we started doing this program for ourselves. Okay. This program will take you through the process of, yes, getting locked into what you really want. Okay. Which is what we call a C-type goal. Okay. It's connecting to what you really want. Like there's A, B, and C type goals. Okay. And this will help you get connected to your heart's desire. Okay. And be committed to it. Now, then we work you through the process of closing that gap between what you know you should be doing and what you're doing, what I was speaking about before. Okay. Closing that knowing doing gap. So you become more productive, more effective. You become more in alignment with that desire or that goal. Okay. And then we take you through the process of actually shifting that paradigm. So
exactly.
It's a repeatable process. Doesn't matter what it is that you want to change, the process is the same.
Absolutely.
Okay. And we'll help you understand this mind, how this will help you to alter your behaviors. We work with you on developing the ability to live from the inside out. Okay. Because we have been conditioned to live from the outside in, allowing our results to control the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave. And as long as you live that way, you'll stay in this vicious cycle of getting the same results over and over again. So what we'll do is we'll help you to develop what we call the mental faculties.
And this is the way that successful people think. They don't let their results and circumstances control how they think. They're locked in and they come from the goal. But you've got to unlearn that and relearn how to think this way. Okay. The next step I love because it really, I'm so emotional when it comes to self-image because of how much it's helped me and how much I keep seeing it help others, especially people closest to me, right? And altering your self-image, the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, and altering your confidence. Really, it's aligning the image that you need to have in the program of your mind to having achieved your goal, that vision of your life that you desire. And we can do that. That's a beautiful thing. We can change it. And it's so liberating. And when we do change the self-image, it's permanent. Okay. It's a new image of you. Okay. So it's such a beautiful, liberating thing.
It's changing from the inside
out. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. You're not going to care what others think about you. You're not letting the outside control your worth. And as your worth increases, everything in your life increases. So I've noted my income's multiplied so many times because I keep working on my self-worth, right? Relationships, right? The next one's terror barrier, right? Breaking through fear.
Yeah, it's overcoming fear and procrastination, because naturally, as you start embodying this new image of yourself, you start doing things that you've never done before. It's natural for that fear and the procrastination to come up, right? Where you're trying to avoid those new behaviors, just like I was with the example I gave with the cold calling, right?
Yeah.
Like it was not part of my image. Okay. And even though as I was trying to embody that new image, there was still a form of resistance. So we work with you on that process of overcoming that fear and the procrastination.
Because the truth is the program's in control so much more than we're even aware at times, that we just stepping out of it, it creates discomfort. You're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's where the magic happens.
It is. And then we work with you on actually integrating these new beliefs with your behavior. Okay. Like I said earlier, we have conscious belief, but we also have a subconscious belief. And it's the subconscious beliefs that actually control your body and the behaviors that you're involved in. And the behavior produces a result. So what we're doing is integrating these new beliefs with your behaviors. And then we work on the power of attitude, okay? Wow. And developing the attitude of the person that you want to become, okay? And it's not just like being positive. That's not what we're talking about here. Okay, positivity is important and it's a part of the process, but we're talking about developing the ability to think like the person you want to become, to, to tap into the emotions of the person you want to become and the behaviors. Okay, it's attitude on all levels.
Yeah, because you have an attitude towards many different things, right? And I'll just give you an example. You can be positive and still think lack. You can think, oh, I can't afford that, or we're not going to do well there, or we can't do that. That's the negative mental attitude. Having an I can't attitude, having a playing to lose attitude, like you're planning like you can't do it. So we've got to change that into the empowerment of I can. And I can attitude in all areas of your life is going to change your life. Right?
We'll also work with you on effective leadership, becoming a leader that people want to follow. Okay, so it's developing your inner leadership. Lesson 11 is we're working on leaving everyone with the impression of increase.
It's the golden rule.
This is one of the keys to success. Okay, leaving everyone better off for having come in contact with you. Okay, and then the final lesson is we're really working with you on creating quantum leaps, like magnifying your mind. And it's not like just like a little improvement. Like we're talking about quantum leaps. This is like going beyond where you've ever been before. Okay, and how to create ongoing quantum leaps. Okay, so it's way beyond just like a 3-month period. Like it's just continuous.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Like no one can measure what you're capable of. No one can. I can't. I'm not going to even try and measure what you're capable of. It's up to you, though, to tap into it. It's up to you to draw it out of you. And that's what this is about. It's making a committed decision to draw a line in the sand and go, you know what? I'm going to give this all I have. I'm going to show myself what I'm capable of. And by you doing this for 3-6 months, right, in a stint of time, you're starting to develop being this person who lives this way. How amazing is that?
It can be a lot of fun too.
And it absolutely has to be fun, right? This is about achieving your goals with love, with passion, with purpose and joy. And the ease comes because you're not fighting the program, you're changing it. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're just trying to lose this weight or achieve or earn this money or grow this business, blah, 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 with the old self-image. That's the hard way. So we're going to help you do it the more effortless way. So you achieved more this year than what you did in previous years. In the first year of locking into this, it blew me away. I multiplied my income 6 times that year. It was just phenomenal. For me, it was about the confidence because I was at rock bottom in a lot of ways. So it changed my world, right? If we can, you can, right? So if you want to find out more about thinking to results and working with us, we're kicking it off next week. We're so excited. The Academy's already rock and rolling. We're all ready and we're open. If you want this, we're here to help you. Send us a message, comment that you want to reach, whatever it is, reach out. You've got to reach out. Don't wait for someone to save you. Take that initiative. I used to be that person always waiting for someone to save me. Life doesn't succeed that way. You've got to go for it. You've got to pursue it. You got to go, yes, I want this, and follow that feeling that's driving you. And don't let that program talk you out of an opportunity to change your life. Okay. So go for it, make it count. And we're excited to welcome you if this is something that you're ready for. I know I'm ready.
Yeah, like Nat said, if you want any help, reach out to us. We'll give you any other details. We'll answer any questions you have. But also, we'll find out a bit more about you and your situation just to make sure it is a great fit for what it is that you're wanting to achieve. So
yes, everything is going to be done to make sure that this is a perfect fit. All right. I hope this has really hit home for a lot of you and really helped you think. Okay. Let's do this. If you're ready, go for it. We get one chance at life. Let's make it count. That's the way I see it.
Perfect.
All right. Checking out, guys. Take care. Lots of
everyone.
love.
Bye.
Bye.